I mean, we do some different things, but they've both been executing the same thing. You know, Malik can throw the ball down the field. He can make the throws we need to make. Obviously, you saw that on the strike on the post route that we didn't catch. You know, I like the next pass that he made, because it was a pass to Seth Dawkins. Some people might say that, hey, that ball was behind him and Seth made a great catch, but it actually was a perfect throw, because it was the only way he could throw it where it had been completed, because there was a defender further out wide of Seth, so he had to slow him down, throw it to his back shoulder, and cause Seth to make the sliding catch. So it was the only place he could have threw it. I thought that was his best throw of the night, to be honest with you.
That throw in particular, does it mean something as well that he made an almost perfect throw down on that post and it wasn't caught, and then he didn't get his head down and he actually came out and executed the very next play? Is that important to see?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's real important. You know, I think it's something you have to do as a quarterback, is put the previous play behind you. Whether it's a good play, whether it's a bad play, whether I throw a touchdown or interception, the most important thing as a quarterback is the next play. You know, and we've had guys that have had trouble sometimes after they throw a touchdown. You know, they just want to celebrate, pump, and come back and aren't really focused for the next 2 or 3 plays. Sometimes you have quarterbacks that, you know, have trouble after an interception or after something bad happens, that they, you know, can't move on to the next play. So that's something you always work on with quarterbacks, is the next play is the most important.
Since we didn't ask you about Western last week in this press conference, Virginia this week got more of a running quarterback. They've scored like 45, I think it was, on Saturday. They're usually a pretty athletic team. What are the primary challenges facing them?
Yeah, we've got to be able to, you know, do a good job defensively. The quarterback can throw the ball and run it. They're running more option game than they have in the past, so that's something that's new to them and also new for us to defend. Defensively, they still have the same unique style where they play a 3 down front and a 4 down front, and you know, they've got a lot of guys over there that we played against before. Outside linebacker who's a really good player, an inside linebacker who started for a couple of years against us. The same corner that we played against last year. So we're familiar with a lot of them, but you know, they always do a good job in their defensive package. But I think it's you know, something that we have to go execute, play well, but we're going to have to defend them. You know, we're going to have to eliminate their big plays. We're always worried about that receiver they have. It was explosive, and you know, they get them the ball a lot of different ways.
Western ran for more yards than they have in a while. Is there any particular reason why they were so effective? What does your defense need to do, rush defense?
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty stubborn about handing it off and running it, and in the first half we gave up some plays that we shouldn't have. I was happy the way we came back in the second half and defended the run. I think we held them to 54 yards and 3.0 yards an attempt in the second half, but certainly not what we need in the first half. And I think the thing that showed up more than anything is getting off the field on 3rd down. That's where we really have to improve on defense, is getting off the field, you know, particularly when it's 3rd and 8 plus.
Coach, you've talked about Hassan and Javen getting them more touches, but you've gotten behind or had to kind of play a different style both weeks. Is it a matter of trying to get them in the game plan a little earlier, or do you like what you see when you've gotten them in there? Yeah,
I've liked what I've seen. You know, we didn't have a lot of possessions and a lot of, you know, snaps the other night. So that, I think in the second half we had really, you know, 4 possessions, and we moved the ball and scored. You know, I think we had a field goal and 2 touchdowns, and then, you know, ran out the clock. So we have to do a good job of getting more possessions, more time. You know, and a lot of that has to come in the first half. You know, we're not playing the game the way I would like to play it. I always like to play it. We're aggressive, we're good on offense, we go score points in the first half, we get ahead, then the other team has to throw the ball. That's when you get sacks and turnovers, and you know, when the other team has to play from behind. We have to force those issues by being able to score on offense in the first quarter.
On the blocked field goal, can you kind of go through that? Because it looked like on the replay, it looked like you had the entire line was all the way back there, and a number of guys could have blocked it. You've talked about that's an improvement this year. Why do you think you guys are better at that?
Yeah, we've worked really hard at it, and one of the reasons we worked really hard at it is for the field goal team. you know, for where the threats are on our field goal team, and the fact that we feel like we need to do a better job than we did a year ago. So in doing that, then I made the defense work harder at it and get the looks at it, and then it just so happened that Goldwire has something unique timing of when to elevate and get his hand up in the air. You know, we're doing a better job of penetrating and getting push. We have a block team, where sometimes, some years, we've just put the base defense out there, and you know, that's something I didn't want to do. I wanted to get the right guys on the field and have a block team. So Big Dez helps us on there. You know, he pushes the pile. Jared helps us because he really can accelerate and push the pile. Goldwire got a good block. I think, you know, I'm looking forward to Marlon getting a block for us. I think in junior college he had 4 blocked field goals. So it's one of those things that you just try to work hard at, and you know, it sure paid off the other night. But we did do that in practice. You know, I think we've had 3 or 4 blocks in practice that were very similar. I know that Goldwire got 3 of them.
You said after the game that it was a bad call on your part, 4th down. What was going through your mind? What was your thinking when you made that call?
I don't think anything was going. I think it was just completely lost my mind.
Look that way.
That's exactly. You're exactly right. So, what the heck? It's the nature of the business, man. When it's a bad call, it's a bad call. When you make it, it's a good call. It's just that's how it goes, you know. But I'm not gonna lose my mind again.
Anything else, Coach?
I got one real quick.
Do you have the card on when to go for 2 and what
Yeah.
you're thinking on?
Yeah, we do. We do, and the card said go for 2. You know, but the timing of the game is something that we've really studied over the years, and if there's enough time, we've now determined that we're going to forget the card in this situation and just go for 1. And then that helped us not, you know, if you don't make it and it's 14-12, then all of a sudden it's bad, you know. So, and then I was second guessing that too late in the game, thinking, are we ever going to get the ball back? Maybe I should have went for 2. You know what I mean? That's why I actually said those words to myself when we were having trouble and they made that long drive, you know, and I thought we would get it back right away. They made them start on the 10-yard line, and you know, we just didn't do it. So. But yeah, you have a guy upstairs, and what he's instructed to say is exactly that. The card says go for 2. Or tell the defense that the card says they'll go for 2. He doesn't say go for 2. He says the card says. And sometimes the card says early in the game, kick. You know, 4th quarter, go for 2. So it was right at the start of the 4th quarter. We had discussed it. And I said, no, we're just going to go for 1 here. And that has kind of been a change throughout the career. You know, I remember we lost a game one time when I was coaching with John L., and we went for 2 early and didn't get it. And then it compounds the next time, and we actually scored, you know, more touchdowns than the other team and lost the game. So that's one of those things where you know, sometimes you don't believe the card.
Is this your card, or is there like a generic card that we can give you?
Yeah, it's pretty, yeah, we can give you a copy of it. It's pretty close to probably being the same for everybody.
Is there some coach that came up with it? Something?
Well, no, I mean, it's just something that you've studied over the years, and it's, you know, it's kind of math, I guess, you know. Yeah, so like, we had a situation where we were gonna go for 2. It's like if you're ahead by 6, go for 2. Or no, ahead by 6, go for 1. Ahead by 5, go for 2. So it was whether we were gonna be up by 5 or not. So you're always thinking, you know, we want to be ahead by 7, or, you know, ahead by 3. So you're kind of always working on those numbers of touchdowns and field goals. And so the card there said down by 2, go for 2. But early in the game, it's kind of proven over the years that you kick the field goal, or kick the extra point, and then if you have to catch up later, you catch up later.
One of the trends in the NFL is going for it more on 4th down. I know not that 4th and 3, that kind of thing, but going for it more. Have you found
not
yourself?
on 4th and 3?
Well, yeah. Have you found yourself
4th and 20?
Right. Have you found yourself going for it more?
Oh, there's a lot of that out there, yeah, the analytics. Yeah, there's a lot of analytics that say go for it on 4th down and, you know, got all that information and, you know, like I said, it works good if you get it. If you don't get it, it doesn't work good. It's just how it is, you know, that's the way it goes.
Last
But
one.
the analytics do tell you that you should go for it on 4th down more and you have a better chance of winning the game. But that's if you make it on 4th down.
Speaking of analytics, only 8% of the kickoffs after 3 weeks have been fair caught. Does that surprise you across college football?
Are they all just going in the end zone?
Well,
You
I
know.
think that, I think the touchback is like up like 10% from last year is what
Yeah.
is what it was. Is that, have you changed your thought after 3
Not
weeks?
really, no. You know, I get mad when we practice it and work really hard on it, and then they kick them all in the end zone. And your statistics there should say to just take the ball to 25.
Mhm.
So that's what I get upset on is when, you know, you work hard on the kickoff returns and then you never get a chance to return it. So, but, yeah, I didn't really know how that would come out. You know, the other night too is we kicked the ball in the end zone and the guy had caught the ball and then one of their guys came over and made a big block on one of our guys. That seems like you're defeating the purpose, that we should be blowing the whistle when he catches the ball in the end zone and then the block's not made, because it's all supposed to be about player safety. And then they forget about that sometime, because I had a big discussion with the officials on, okay, it's a kickoff after a safety. You fair catch the ball. Now do we get the ball at the 35? Or the 40-yard line?
Oh, yeah.
You know what the answer is? No. How, you know, why don't you? It's about player safety, right?
Mm.
So they should
Mhm.
it should adjust, just like when you kick it out of bounds.
Right.
But it's not. It's wherever you fair catch it if it's kicked off after a safety. So that changes a little bit too. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.